in these crises, you see leaders emerge and you also see leaders disappear because there's actually not really a clear playbook.
In normal times, we would have been returning this very past weekend from several intense days in St. Gallen. But as all of you know, these are not normal times.
The most important thing is to get involved. Don't be a bystander, because you've got a lot to offer. I know that the people involved with the St. Gallen Symposium are hugely talented people. You're leaders, and remember, we've talked about this in previous sessions. One of the things I would say is your intuition, your ambition, the things you want to do, follow them, because they're not, I don't think they're going to change in 40 years from now. You see a guy with white hair here, if you really could look at it, I'm still a 19-year-old. Some of the ideas and things I wanted to do have not changed, and don't wait till you get older.
Having a diversity of people around the table is step one. Step two is knowing how to use that diversity.
And we just want to make sure that we take this opportunity right now to keep not only the St. Gallen Symposium spirit alive, but also talk about something that is truly at the heart of the St. Gallen Symposium, which has to do around public leadership.
How much we train our people, how much we have capacity in terms of our civil servants, that we have really good capacity for discretionary decisions at the street level. I think that's something that we should be carrying a lot more than we normally are, because it is exactly on times of that these are the people we need the most, and set a clear path and be able to, admit when it's not working and set another clear path, because that's what happened during crisis. It's not one linear solution to solve the problem. Crises like that define a generation.
A takeaway lesson for any public leader about communication, which is it's not learning how to give fancy speeches. It's not your soaring rhetoric which matters. It's two things. It's knowing people you're speaking to and not patronizing them. And second, it's having a serious plan.
No, I don't think techno-optimism is over, but I think people are much more cautious and they see all of the shortcomings now and demand answers or solutions. And honestly, I think that's great.
All right, so it's the coming of techno-realism, rather,
Yes,
I guess.
absolutely.
Yeah. So this afternoon we'll be talking all about a report, namely about human freedom and choice in light of technological change. And for this report, we've done a survey of about 900 young, ambitious people, leaders of tomorrow, from the global community of the St. Gallen Symposium.
But I think that the current approach of thinking about paying for data and then, the issue is solved, it might be too naive, because I might get a couple of euros for my data now thinking, oh, well, this is just some useless data. What are they going to do with it? But in total, especially when you have monopolies buying up all of the different tech companies, you can create entire data profiles about a person that are worth so much more money after all. And it shouldn't just be reduced to money, right? This is really our digital self in a way, and we have to take care of it in the same way that we would about our physical self. So I think that's a really interesting discussion that's arising.
I'm incredibly hopeful and positive about the future. I truly believe that this leadership that has been shown on the climate change topic side, also with regards to protecting our online rights and many other topics that have been covered by this panel, but many others organized by the symposium, is going to define how people think about the future. And I am sure that climate change will become even more prominent on the agenda.
We could start celebrating changing one's mind instead of celebrating sticking with whatever we thought before. Because this idea of whoever doesn't change their mind is more likely to be right, or at least won't be criticized for it, is something that drives this divisiveness.